Okay, with spring on our heels, it's time to freshen up our beauty routine. So in today's Style File, we're showing you how to look pulled together, there it is, without looking overdone. And the so-called nude beauty look is the perfect way to do that. That's according to Studio 5 style and beauty contributor Megan Moore, who's here to help us find the right way to go nude. I told everyone, don't get excited. Yeah. This is makeup, people. This is makeup. No, but we can't call this a trend necessarily because neutral makeup, nude makeup, it's kind of a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a trend in the sense that it's going away, but it's certainly a look, right? It's a very put together look. It's very specific, and it's not quite the no makeup look. That's, I would say, a little different. This is still looking put together, but with more subdued colors.
Why is this so tricky? I mean, I say that as a blonde. I think that's half of it. If you're lighter complected already, you're kind of at a disadvantage.
Yes, it's tricky because if you go light on the colors, you can disappear. You can really lose your features and feel washed out. So these are 4 of my rules for wearing nude beauty to keep you looking like you still have life in your face, even when your tones are subdued.
What's the rule for lipstick, nude lipstick?
Okay, so lipstick I think is probably the tough one because there's so many options out there, right? But for me, the rules are keep it 2 levels darker than your skin tone.
Darker than your skin tone.
Not your lip tone, your skin tone. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
And then make sure it's got kind of a pink or a peach undertone. If it's gray or beige undertone, it really washes you out. So you can see on this example of Kim Kardashian, it's not a huge difference, but on the left there, it's just a little too washed out. Her lips disappear. On the right, she's got a little bit more pink, and that gives her enough color that it doesn't look so washed out.
Okay, now dialing back to what you said about not going off of your lip tone, is your lip typically darker? Yeah,
yes,
obviously, than your skin.
So then you may not look like you're wearing a nude if you're going darker than your lip tone, right? So it needs to be 2 shades different than your skin tone itself, and then a little pinker is going to be more flattering.
Okay, so when you talk about gray tones, avoid gray tones, go with pink or peach. Some people get a little overwhelmed. They don't really know what to look for. Call it out for us. Describe it.
These are my favorite kind of nude tones. These are all by Urban Decay. Their Vice lipstick was some of my favorites. But even if you're a darker skin tone all the way to lighter skin tone, you can see the warmth in kind of a pinky peach tone there. It doesn't look nude, beige, gray kind of. It's got a little bit of color. It's still going to read like the nude look on your face, but there's just a little bit more warmth there, so you look alive and your lips don't disappear.
These are gorgeous. I tell you, this sounds dramatic, and I don't even care because it's true. I've been looking for the perfect nude lipstick, I feel like, for 10 years. Yeah. It's a hard one to nail.
It really is, but once you find yours, hopefully they don't ever discontinue it.
Yeah, right? All right, eyes. If our lips are lighter, you know, 1 to 2 shades darker than our skin, what are we doing with our eyes?
So our eyes can be the same thing. You don't want it to match your eyelid exactly. I would add a little bit more color to it. There's some great palettes out there, but I think the biggest thing with eyes is you cannot forget your mascara. Okay. If you're not going to wear a lot of color on the lid, make sure you've like coated the mascara. Now, this is Margot Robbie on the left at the Oscars last week. She looks stunning. I just wanted her to have a little bit more mascara. I felt like her eyes just kind of disappeared, and I just wanted more pop for her. You can see on the right, it's the same nude look. The makeup itself is actually very similar, but she does have more mascara there, and opens up her eyes and makes her just look a little bit more awake, I would say.
Yep, you can totally see. It's subtle, but you can see a difference.
Yes.
Okay, so as far as products go, is there a palette that you recommend?
So, I mean, I love, this is the Urban Decay Naked palette. It's kind of the original, right, the nude palette. But again, reach for colors that have a little bit more pigment to them. This is a great option down here. It's e.l.f. their Rose Gold palette. It's just beautiful and super affordable. And then mascaras, I actually just did a poll on my Instagram followers and asked for their like die-hard mascara. These 2 L'Oreal's came on top. This is the Voluminous and the Lash Paradise. Doesn't matter what it is, just make sure it's there so your eyes don't disappear.
Same goes with brows?
Brows are a huge one. If you don't have your brows done and the rest of your face looks kind of nude, you just kind of look like you didn't put any makeup on. That's my personal opinion. I think framing your face with a nice groomed brow is key. So Nicole Kidman is a perfect example of this. Sometimes she looks like she has no brows at all. They just disappear, and I'm like, what?
Because she's light. She's that strawberry blonde to blonde.
Yes, but I love her when she's got a little bit more color in her brow. I think it makes her look younger, and it lifts the face visually and just gives her more expression, because sometimes she can look a little plasticky, like all one dimension. And I really think having that brow lifts her and gives her just a little bit more so she looks polished.
What do you like for a good brow product?
These are the NYX micro pencils. They're so tiny, and they've got a nice spoolie on the end, but you can do perfect little hair strokes with them. So if you have sparse areas or your brow needs a little help on the shape department, that's a great option, and it's under $10.
See, I love the affordability of this recommendation, because you get into the higher brands and the better known brands, I'm going to say it like Anastasia, you can pay out the nose for your brows.
These are so comparable to the Anastasia ones and so much cheaper. So yeah.
All right, so we've hit the lips, we've hit the eyes. Let's talk about the overall face. Again, you don't want to look washed out. You don't want to look like you just woke up. So what's the key to that?
The key is a little bit of color on the cheeks. You've got to have a little bit of pop, warmth on the cheeks. Otherwise, you look very flat. Your dimension, the curves of your face are lost. This is Gina Rodriguez, again on the left at the Oscars. So gorgeous, but I just wanted to reach through the screen and pinch her cheeks because I just wanted a little bit more color so you could see her beautiful cheekbones. On the right, again, the same nude look. She doesn't have a lot of color on the eyes or lips, but you can see the cheeks there, and it really livens up her face and gives her just a little bit more pop.
I'm kind of surprised you're playing up cheek color as opposed to bronzer.
Right. I don't think it needs to be bronzer because sometimes you can look orange, right? If you put bronzer on a very bare face. I think the pink and the shimmer gives you a little bit more glow, and it gives you that healthy look. You look alive and awake and not necessarily like washed out with the brown
with the orange
stripe, right?
Across your face. Guilty, guilty. Yeah. All right, and what are you reaching for?
So anything that's kind of bright and poppy, and I recommend a little shimmer with these two. So this one's by Pixie. You can get that at Target. This is the Mark by Avon Glow Palette.
It's pretty.
So pretty, but just enough shimmer that it gives your cheeks some light reflection and some life again, so you don't look flat.
I love that we're hitting this as we approach spring when you want to go lighter, but we don't have that sun-kissed color
yet, right?
on our face. So now we can pull it off and not feel dead. Thank you for that. Where can we get more beauty advice from you, Megan?
At thebeautysnoop.com.
You're always posting awesome articles, awesome recommendations. We'll link you over from our website. You definitely want to bookmark it. Thank you again, my friend.